I know this. Oh, now we're on the air and I'm rambling on. Yeah, we're live. And Luke and I were just talking before the show. Um, but I'm here with my frequent sidekick, Luke.
It's always good to be back on the old channel.
And so um, let's go ahead and get to the breaking news, shall we? According to CBS News, here we got 5 dead in shooting at newspaper building in Maryland. Suspect in custody. And what I'm sure will not be reported, I've seen all over Gab, is apparently this guy's dad worked for the NSA, something like that. I'll have to go back on Gab and double check what poll was reporting and stuff like that. But yeah, might be some interesting things going on here. But let's get to what we're supposed to think here.
Nice neckbeard he's got going there.
I'm sorry, what?
Nice neckbeard he's got going there.
yeah, no shit. 5 people were killed Thursday in a shooting at a local newspaper building in Maryland, and 2 others were injured, officials in Annapolis said. A law enforcement official tells CBS News that the suspect has been identified as Gerard Ramos, 38, of Laurel, Maryland. The shooting at the Capitol Gazette prompted a massive police response, with the employees evacuating the building with hands raised above their head. The Capitol Gazette is a local newspaper owned by the Baltimore Sun. William Kampf, acting chief of police for Anne Arundel County, said it was planned attack, and Ramos used smoke grenades, and he entered the building. 2 law enforcement sources tell CBS News that Ramos used a shotgun. What do you want to bet people were telling the police for like months that this guy was going to go crazy and kill everybody? Isn't that like always what the fuck happened? Anyways. Ramos damaged his fingertips in an effort to avoid identification, a law enforcement source tells CBS News. Oh, wow. Going all Men in Black on us. The first shots were reported at 2:40 p.m. after the shooter entered the building, which also houses other buildings, CBS Baltimore reports. Anne Arundel Police spokesman Lieutenant Ryan Fashore said officers raced to the scene, arriving in 60 seconds. Okay. No gunfire was exchanged between Ramos and the officers before he was taken into custody. Over 170 people were safely escorted out of the building. The Anne Arundel Medical Center, which is nearby the shooting scene, said staff there are treating 2 people with minor injuries, neither from a gunshot. Police released the victims' identities during a late Thursday press briefing. They were all employees at Capitol Gazette, including 4 journalists and a sales assistant. Okay, so I'm seeing all sorts of very interesting responses to this. First of all, somebody apparently Milo has been thrown off PayPal as an indirect result of this. Somebody asked Milo, like they emailed him about it, and he made a joke about right-wing death squads, and that's enough to get him thrown off PayPal. Look, we've talked about this numerous times. PayPal shouldn't be able to fucking do this. Okay. Can you imagine your bank taking away your checking account because you said nigger or something like that? Can you imagine living in that kind of fucking world? Well, that's where we are in the digital age here, and it needs to fucking stop. And the only guy in all of government I know of that's really pushing this issue, pushing against this issue, is Ted Cruz. But there needs to be more focus on that. That shit has to stop. Also, you see a bunch of these fucking leftist journalists talking about this is what we feared and all. The reason you feared it is because on some level you suspect you have it coming. That's why these leftist fucking journalists fear it. Okay. You know, it's like that old saying, you know, why would a politician want to take away your guns unless he wants to do something to you for which he should be rightfully shot? Well, why would the media be constantly fearing attacks unless they were saying all sorts of stuff that's going to rile people up against them? Also, I would note that in the past, remember just the other day, Kennedy announced his retirement, and all these leftists start running their mouth about the time for civility is over and we need to maybe get violent and all this other shit, all calls for violence from leftists. And it's been continuous since the election, you know, and then we don't even know if this is politically motivated, but let's assume, worst case scenario, let's assume this guy is like, he was a big fucking Christopher Cantwell fan and went all right-wing death squad on us, right? Let's assume, right? Well, guess what, leftists? You have spent, what are we at, like 2 years fucking now, calling for violence? Well, maybe your call got answered. Huh? Careful what you wish for, as the old saying goes.
You know what this reminds me of?
If tomorrow I tell the press that like a gangbanger will get shot, or a truckload of soldiers blowing up, nobody panics. All part of the plan. I say that one little old mare will die. Well, then everyone loses their minds.
Yeah. So, you know, five people at a newspaper die, and the press is in a mass panic. I mean, you know, you leftists in the media, you've been very, very purposely tearing at the very restraints that keep this from happening to you. Okay? You've spent the last 2 years either outright or low-key calling for civil war. Well, how the fuck do you think a civil war... And again, that's all assuming that this guy isn't just outright fucking bonkers, or it's not some sort of false flag, or, you know, for all we know, at this point, for all I know at least, this motherfucker thought he was going to get reincarnated in a Danny Phantom cartoon for doing this. Okay? Which, I mean, that's not unprecedented.
Nope.
So,
maybe he'll be reincarnated as a Steven Universe character.
No, well, worse than that, I suppose. But yeah, we don't know anything about this guy's motives at this point.
Of course, if we had some hint of what his motives were, they would have blasted it by now. So it's probably.
Oh yeah, I highly doubt that there's any connection, any kind of right. Otherwise, yeah, it would be. They'd be fucking writing it in the sky.
Although they've learned not to jump the gun and just say, "Oh, this is about the NRA."
I mean, for all you know, this guy's just fucking batshit. Like I said, he might have thought he was going to get ghost pussy for doing this. Who knows? Yeah. Not exactly outside the realm of possibility, is it?
Nope.
Of course, we all know this is just a smokescreen. It was really Sam Hyde.
He can't keep getting away with this.
He cannot. At this point, he could. At this point, I wonder if it's ever dawned on him, like, you know, if I had a really good lawyer worth his salt, I could probably at least get some reasonable doubt going. I mean, you'd have to basically have him on camera doing it. You know what I mean? You'd have to have that guy dead to rights, like just lock solid evidence against him, or any lawyer worth his salt should be able to argue reasonable doubt, and it was Sam Hyde. You know, oh, come on, this is clearly just some internet hoax again, Your Honor. We're just wasting the court's time with this. Oh.
God bless Sam Hyde.
Getting it done. All right, what else did I want to talk about? Because I know there was other shit I wanted to talk about. Yeah, I'm actually going a little later than normal. I got home and I was fucking around with some stuff, and then I got to do that one Divine Beast. I've been fucking around. I haven't had a chance to actually like really sit and play Zelda for a while. Since I was like, you know, I gotta just sit down and do the Divine Beast.
I wish Nintendo would have expanded beyond their system so I could actually play those games. I wish I didn't have to buy their consoles because I'm going to buy just one of their games and that'll be it.
There's a lot of great stuff on the Switch, though. There's a lot of great stuff on the Switch.
If I just figure out how to connect it to my computer screen.
Yeah, no shit. I'd love to figure that shit out. But I mean, I am basically retarded on tech issues. Harlan Ellison died. I don't really have much to say about that. But yeah, noteworthy news, I guess.
Harlan Ellison. Who is this again?
He's a writer. I know Jordan Owen commented on it on Facebook, and because Owen was a huge Ellison fan.
Ellison. What was he famous for?
I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream is probably his most famous work.
Oh, you mean the one that was made into a game?
Yeah, it was made into a game.
Oh, cool.
Let's see. What the fuck else did I want to talk about? I'm sure there was something.
I'm seeing one of the cover of his books called Dangerous Visions, and it actually reminds me of Observer, the video game Observer, for some reason.
Oh, I know what else I want to talk about. Let me see if I can find the article here. Here we go. It's off of newsarama.com, folks. So let me just throw this in the chat so you can bring it up here, Luke. There's a superhero over at Valiant Comics, and I don't read Valiant Comics. I've always kind of considered them garbage. There's a big fat superhero named Faith, who, like, I guess she has like Jean Grey mind bullet powers, but she's a big fat ass, right? And on one level, it's kind of interesting to like make a superhero fat if their powers don't really have anything to do with their body. You know what I mean? I mean, you could argue that telekinesis would burn calories because that energy's got to come from somewhere, but whatever. Point is, you know, it's not correlated to her physical strength. So making a character like that out of shape kind of, you know, I mean, how fat would you get when you don't even have to get up to get to the fridge to get a Pepsi? You know what I mean? You just fucking mind bullet that shit right to you. The problem is, and now this character's been around for a while, from what I understand. Again,
I remember I was talking about like a year ago.
Yeah, we were talking about it but she's been around for years and years, from what I understand. Again, not a Valiant guy. I think most Valiant stuff is ass, but you could tell it's very much, you know, for as much as we're told about the male escapist fantasies, the idea that, you know, she's the super. Like she saves this hot guy and then he falls in love with her, you know, and it's very, come on now, 555, come on now is what it is.
Oh, wow. Oh, look, I hope this was an actual cover right here.
Yes, it was an actual cover. Anyways, according to Newsarama, Faith is getting a movie.
Huh.
Valiant's Faith is getting her own solo film from Sony Pictures, of course. Fuck it. According to Deadline. American God screenwriter Maria Melnick will pen a script for the film. In comic books, Faith is Faith Herbert, a telekinetic superhero known for her jovial attitude. Is that what she's known for? Is that what she's known for?
I mean, I know they're known to be jolly, but I don't know if jovial is the right word.
Known for her jovial attitude. Is that indeed what she's known for?
Oh.
In fact, can you actually comment on Newsarama? I never know what these fucking articles anymore. Okay, so.
Oh, yeah, you can comment. Yeah, you can comment on, like, anonymously or have an account on, what server is this again? I can't tell what server this is.
It looks like I can comment on my fucking Facebook, so yeah, I'm doing it. Because, yeah, holy shit, dude.
Let's see, Rebel Wilson for Faith.
That's actually fucking perfect.
Yeah, if it is.
Oh,
she would be perfect.
I mean, what would be more perfect is to not make that movie.
Ideally, yes. Although, I wonder, does this comic book justify a movie? Because it seems a little weird.
Well, on one level, you got to understand that, like, studios right now are desperate to buy up superhero properties. Because if you think about it, I mean, everything is spoken for Marvel and DC. Obviously, DC is owned by Warner Brothers and has been for decades. Marvel is owned by Disney, and everything that, you know, there are a handful of things Fox still retains the rights to, although Disney's fucking buying Fox, like X-Men and Fantastic Four. But other than that, everything else is owned, you know, everything else is obviously Marvel Studios can do. So, Marvel and DC are 90% of superhero comics ever at this point, basically. So that doesn't leave a lot if you're a studio and you want to make a superhero film. There are some independent superhero properties to scoop up, stuff from Image, Valiant, etc. And that's why they're probably scooping this up. Superheroes are the only things that get people's butts in the seats at the theater anymore. So I can imagine. That's what they'd want to do right now.
Yeah, Marvel heroes. I'm not sure about everything else.
Well, the DC heroes, I think we can all agree that it's not like the public has just said no to the DC heroes so much as those movies have just been kind of botched. I mean, I don't even think, like, I'm a fan of DC heroes. I have always been more of a Marvel fan, generally speaking, but I really, really like the DC heroes as well. I love DC comics. I would have loved nothing more than a Justice League movie, okay, that didn't suck balls. All right. When I remember seeing the trailer for Justice League and just thinking how bad it looked, and it's like a Justice League movie, just the trailer alone should leave me with a 10-foot long erection with a bald eagle perched on the tip. And I'm seeing like Cyborg, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Kid Flash. I'm not even going to call that fucking Flash. Wandering around what looks like a fucking parking garage while Conan is Aquaman for some reason. It just was a mess. So I don't think it's like the pub. I mean, like Arrow and Flash are hit TV shows. They have great ratings. So it's not like the public has just turned its back, like only wants Marvel heroes. It's just, they don't want shitty movies, I guess.
Which is a topic in and of itself.
Which is probably what they're about to get from the Marvel movies in the next few years. But
although it would be interesting if this Faith movie could actually be very well made, but it depends on who they decide to make it.
Well, you basically got to like not have it all be about like fat acceptance. Like, you have to have her be kind of a hero in spite of her being a big fat ass.
Although I haven't read the comics, so I can't say what her main topic is.
I'm sure these days it's all fucking feminism and fat acceptance and all that kind of horse shit. God, that Justice League, just looking at it looks fucking awful. God, it just looks awful. First of all right, Cyborg shouldn't be in there. I know the New 52 insisted Cyborg's a founding Justice League member. That's fucking retarded, all right? Cyborg belongs in the Teen Titans. He's the heart and soul of the Teen Titans, really. I'm not saying he can't be a Justice League member at some point, but a founding member, that's no. Second of all, it needs to be the Big Seven, preferably, if not that, the Big Five. The Big Five are Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, and Green Lantern. The Big Seven are those guys plus Aquaman and Martian Manhunter. I mean, even the cartoon, like, yeah, it swapped out Aquaman for Hawk Girl because the network insisted there be another twat in the lineup. And it ended up working out great because Bruce Timm and Paul Dini and the other guys that worked on it were geniuses and they knew what they were doing. But yeah, like a Justice League movie, it should just be like, it should just be fucking epic. You know what? Look up a comic cover, JLA #1 from 97, I think it is. Throw that up on the screen. And that should give you an idea of what you should be looking at when you see a Justice League movie. It should be damn near the only thing that can top Avengers, really, if you think about it. Like that scene in Avengers when there's a big alien attack and they just, all of them are kind of, together, standing together and stuff as the camera circles around them. That's an epic fucking scene. That sort of is the money shot of the movie, as it were. And the only way in my mind, as I sat there and watched that back in 2012, I'm like, the only thing that tops this at this point is a Justice League movie. The only thing that even potentially tops it.
How's this cover?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's what you need there. All right, the Big fucking Seven, just epicness. All right, just epicness. Man, the DC. I mean, the Wonder Woman was a great movie. I got to give Wonder Woman's probably one of the best superhero movies ever. But the rest of it's just ass. I mean, as much as everyone wants to shit on Green Lantern, you know, I could have started a fucking better Justice League franchise starting with that than this current universe. Hell, even Green Lantern at least had Amanda Waller in it. You know, Amanda Waller is sort of DC's Nick Fury, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
Although I still to this day miss the fat Amanda Waller. I really do.
And she's been brought back in the cartoons.
I know. I think it was actually Green Lantern was the first time we really saw a skinny Amanda Waller. Like Angela Bassett, I think was Amanda Waller in that movie. But and that predated the New 52. In the New 52, she was switched to being all skinny. But I like the big, fat, sassy. You know why? You know why I like it? Because isn't that just like half the fucking bitches you've had to deal with at the DMV? You know what I mean? Like, so just I just like the idea of this high ass ranking top secret government official is basically that. Okay, is basically sassy black woman sassy obese black woman you had to deal with at the DMV. Like the Justice League has its own sassy black DMV woman they have to deal with. That's what I fucking like about it.
The government bureaucrats who always
exactly like they got their, and it's not that she's evil and can't be reasoned with or you know that kind of thing. I mean she is you know she's not as evil as the real deep state, you know, not by a long shot.
No, she's just an employee.
You know, she's just kind of shitty. Oh, is that Amanda Waller in that Barbie superhero cartoon they got?
Yep.
Why would you even need to put her in that? I guess just every female character we're gonna shove into this fucking show.
I'll try to find a clip of her to see if it's.
I mean, it would maybe kind of make sense if she was like the principal, or like the vice principal of the school. That might make some sense. But yeah, I miss the fat Amanda Waller when they used to call her the Wall for a reason. Even in the Arrow show, they have an Amanda Waller in the Arrowverse, the Arrow Flash shows and all. And I mean, she actually got killed in the show. Spoilers for the like 2 seasons ago, but she was skinny in that too. I'm like, I want fucking, you know, I don't even know who's like a fat black actress that's out there right now. I don't even know.
There was like lots of them a little while ago.
Not like Leslie Jones. Leslie Jones more mannish than fat. Oh man, what was the one that was in that movie, The Help? There's a movie called The Help. It was. I never saw it because it looked like shit. But that actress, I'm trying to think what that actress's name is.
Let's see, cast.
But anyways, like. She comes off a bit too young. I don't know what her actual age is, but like you put like 10 years on her, she'd be the perfect fucking Amanda Waller.
Octavia Spencer.
She's looking a little skinnier in that picture than she usually does. Maybe she was losing weight. I don't know, but whatever. Sassy black woman. That's what we need. Sassy fat black DMV woman. Somebody in the chat mentions they had a bigger woman player in Suicide Squad. That's right. The Amanda Waller in the current DC universe is a little bit more true to classic Amanda Waller. So he says Queen Latifah. No, fuck Queen Latifah. God, she sucks the life out of everything she's ever in. Oh, she's awful.
Oh, here's a nice comic shot right here.
That's got to be like 80s. It looks like fucking 80s right there. Good old The Wall. The one comment under his Faith article is great. No, thank you. If I wanted to see a fat hero, I'd watch Chris Farley's Beverly Hills Ninja. Oh, man.
Oh yeah, comic, live action, and thin.
Yeah, she is a little bit more heavy in the current DC universe. But yeah, I like Amanda Waller being like a big old. I don't like the idea. Oh, she's like gun-toting badass or something. No, she is just straight up government bureaucrat.
Like the G-Man from Half-Life, only without the superpowers.
Yeah. Let's see. What the hell else did I want to talk about? Oh man, people are just throwing shit in the cursed images in the Discord. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take a call. Take some calls, shall we? All right, so message me either on tell you what, folks. I'm gonna go on my Discord right now in the general. Anyone want to call in? Okay. And then you can message me on Skype too if you want to call in. Let's see. Luke, throw this picture up just because it's funny.
What picture is this?
There's nothing. It has nothing to do with anything. I just want you to throw it up because it's fucking hilarious.
Yes.
The girl on the couch meme that started with that picture from black.com is hilarious. I love it, man. There's so much of that now. Like that became such a meme. Shit, man, doesn't look like anybody wants to call in. Might have to go ahead and wrap this up. Never mind. I think maybe we got something that we should watch.
Here she is, Amanda Waller in the DC Girl show.
Why?
I guess she's the principal or something.
I guess that kind of makes sense, but that show's so fucking stupid. I'd still rather watch that than the Teen Titans manga bullshit show. All right, so here we go. I kind of like Supergirl schoolgirl outfit in it, though. I gotta say, for reasons. But yeah, I just threw up a YouTube video.
What have we got here?
I don't know. I saw somebody share it. I haven't caught any of this. Apparently, Boogie bunch of numbers dated a feeder.
What's a feeder?
I am sorry to say I know what this is.
And what is it?
God in heaven forgive me. It is a particular fetish where somebody likes the idea of like purposely fattening their lover up.
So kind of like Peter and that one episode of Family Guy when you try to make Lois fat.
A little bit like that, yeah. But let's roll this beautiful. What channel is this from? Let's give credit if we're gonna fucking watch it. Okay, H3 podcast highlights. All right, folks, go watch that then. All right, so let's roll this beautiful bean footage.
If you're familiar with that,
tell me about that.
Heard
I'm
about it,
very
and
so
I've seen some documentaries.
I met her
It's
on like
fucking
MySpace back
crazy.
in 2005 or something.
How much
And
did you weigh at the time?
I was about 550. Oh, I was close
That
to
was
520.
That was like
She's the girl who got me up to 600.
okay. So
Yeah.
she completely enabled you.
Yeah, she just
fucked
like
you up.
straight up, right? She's like, I want you to be so big. Like we moved in and we had this conversation, and she's like, I want you to be so big one day that you can't get out of bed. I want you to
Wow.
be so big one day that you're one of the biggest men on record.
What the fuck?
It's a
Whoa.
huge sexual turn on for her.
I was gonna
She's
ask, is
crazy
sexual?
into it. Very sexual.
Let me
yeah.
ask you if I can get. How did she get sexual gratification out of that?
I guess just the body type, like she liked the softness of it.
But does
and the
she, like,
feel of
get
it,
off
and then
in
yeah,
some way?
like straight like the feeding aspect is foreplay. Like dinner is foreplay.
That's so interesting.
And what's the grand slam.
It's just sex, you know.
Damn.
Like I guess ideally, I've talked to people who got so large that they weren't able to have sex, and certainly a lot of positions are compromised when I was 550, 600. But
you can
there's
still
plenty
slam.
we could do. Yeah, we can still get it
Damn.
going. But eventually, I guess she would fed me to a point where I wasn't physically able to do that anymore,
And
and I
that's-
don't know what it would have been.
And did you know about that sort of phenomenon before you met her?
To some extent, I mean,
Was
she
she
was pretty.
skinny?
She was pretty upper. Yeah, she was tiny. She's like 110 pounds. Yeah,
Whoa.
Yeah, she's-
that is the strangest.
one of the best looking girls I ever dated too. She
How
was
did that
very-
make you feel? I mean, like being in that relationship, knowing what it was.
Well, I was like suicidal and like self-destructive anyway. So I was like, hey, I get to
Someone
die
cares about
and
you.
also get laid a lot. So
Yeah.
this is awesome. And she was pushing me to do stuff I had never done before. Like she's
Yeah.
getting me back into the gym to try to stay fit, but also still fat,
Huh.
you know,
Because she wanted to
right?
fuck.
Because otherwise, right. And otherwise you're going to get so fat
Damn.
that, you know, you want to be able to eat anymore. I want you to be able to always be able to knock it out. Right.
Huh.
I want you to be able to just burn those calories.
Was she trying to kill you?
That's
She wanted.
that's the deal. That's the deal with some
Really?
feeders. Yeah. Not all.
Well, I mean, where's the road end?
Right.
I guess.
For some of them, it's just like a control thing.
Hmm.
Like I want to control you. And some of them, it's like
Would
I want to
she-
feed you to death.
Would she feed you while you guys were having sex?
Yeah. I have a real sexy story that I would have never told.
Can
when
I
was
hear
married.
it? I'm intrigued by the whole thing.
So we decided to do Thanksgiving dinner
Yeah,
together.
right.
And I stayed the night at her place, and she wakes up that morning at like 5 a.m. to start cooking that turkey. She bastes it like it's her fucking career, dude. And so I'm so fat I can't fit into her pantry, but she's got some bags in the pantry. And like we eat Thanksgiving dinner, and I down like a 2-liter of vanilla Coke, and I'm like ate half that turkey and half all the sides, and I ate like a pie for breakfast to start the day. And then she's like, "Hey, it's time for dessert," and I'm like, "I can't eat another bite." And she goes, "Well, you better." And I'm like, "What is for dessert? I ate the only pie in the house for fucking breakfast. Okay, like what do you want from me?" This is when I hate the story now, looking back on it, because I feel like such a terrible glutton. I can't believe this is where my head was, because I would never think this way anymore. But I was like so into it. So she goes into the pantry and grabs this like bag, and then she goes into the bedroom and closes the door. And I'm like doing this, like trying to get food to settle, to like try to make room, like try to burp and stuff, because I know I'm gonna have to eat. There's gonna be real food. And so she's like, "Come in," and I'm so sorry to say this in front of you. It's
This is
such
great.
a disgusting story.
Say it.
She's taken Oreo cookies and she's laid them across her chest, down her stomach, to make an arrow to her vagina, and then she had filled her vagina with maraschino cherries.
Whoa,
I swear
it
to
is time
God.
for dessert.
I swear to God. And my first thought is, you are going to get a yeast infection. What the fuck are you doing? Like, don't put food in your vagina.
How many did you stuff in?
It was like,
Don't put food in your vagina. Well, there we go. I think we got something for the soundboard. I don't really know what to say to that though. I don't know. I'm so fucking burned out on this shit these past few days. Like,
Now come here, my fat concubine.
Hey, I'm not even hungry.
I want you bigger. I want you fatter. It will please me.
oh jeez, that was all right. I'm bringing in 2 callers. That was something. That was something. I mean, I've licked whipped cream off a young lady before. Some caramel sauce, but not food in the vagina. It's that's something. White girl hashtag white girls insert cherries in the chat. Lord. Boogie successfully escaped the Hellraiser box. All right. Callers, what's on your minds?
I can't help but feel bad for this boogie guy. Apparently his mom did the same thing. He just abused him by overfeeding him.
See,
And
I want to feel bad for Boogie, but like he's just such a
He's
fucking
kinda pathetic.
coward. He's such a he's so pathetic.
he seems like he takes a beating from a lot of people.
And it's like, it's almost like at this point, and I realize he's been abused and he's been trained this way, but it's almost like at this point, like he takes a beating to purposely just make you feel sorry for him.
Do you
And
get that
it's like
impression?
I think Boogie thrives off sympathy.
Yeah.
And
No.
I have I've kind of reached a point where it's like you've exhausted it with me, Boogie. I don't have sympathy for you anymore. You've exhausted it with me because I know what you're doing. He knows what he's doing too. I don't hate
one
Boogie.
time.
I don't really wish harm on him or anything like that. You know, I hope he pulls his life together, and we're all fucked up. That's, you know, the current year. None of us have gotten away without being all fucked up. All right. So, you know, I don't throw stones at Boogie, but at the same time, I'm done. I don't have any sympathy for him anymore.
And I guess it's kind of nice to see he's at least slightly less fat than he used to be. That's about it.
Almost nowhere to go but down, but yeah.
Yeah.
We got a $2 super chat from Dan Jansky. Welcome back. Derogatory name for black person.
And of course, what discussion of Boogie Woogie be complete without Jabba the Boogie?
Or you know what discussion of Boogie would not be complete without, Luke?
What's
I
that?
think you know what the soundboard calls for.
Oh no!
You know,
Oh yeah, told us.
Jabba the Boogie.
I still remember when Boogie made dedicated a live stream to talking about his failing marriage.
Oh yeah.
And that
I think we have a clip from that coming up. Luke, go ahead and play that.
You know she's getting filled by some black stud. You know there's some black fucking bull that's just filling her with cock meat. The real fuck she deserves. Some big black bull just filling her with cock meat.
And then it happened.
Oh man, that's never gonna get old. I really don't believe that will ever get old to me.
The porn
Some
star,
big black bowl just filling her with cock meat.
The porn star interviews got old after like a week, but this will never age.
I don't know, like I'm probably still going to watch porn star shit, like do that on the show. It's just
It's not as frequently.
It's just amazing how like how samey it got so fast, and how like it's kind of like when you do your first Google search or Google image search for crossed comics, the first time you ever do that, which if you're like me, it's because some buddy told you about it, and then you probably told your buddies. But at first you're just horrified, like what is this nasty fucking disgusting gore porn? But then after a while, it's like, okay, whatever. You know?
You just see so much of it, it just loses the shock value.
Yeah, shock value, it hits the law of diminishing returns in a hurry.
Yeah, once you're desensitized, it's about it.
I'm seeing this crushed shit for the first time, and
Yeah,
I'm
go-
not even surprised by it.
I don't even know what that is. What is that?
Oh, why don't you go ahead and hit the old Google image search and look for crossed comics?
I'm not going to do that.
Well, the premise of this comic is that it's sort of like a zombie virus that infects people, right? But instead of turning them like undead or anything like that, it basically fucks with their brain so that like you just will act, you will constantly be acting on your worst, darkest impulses all the time. So the virus makes you the most evil version of yourself you could possibly be. Which is in and of itself a good premise. I think there's a lot that could be done with it. It's just so many of the writers, especially I know Alan Moore wrote a story for it that's just nothing but just boring shock value. Garth Ennis created it, and he's a big old fucking edgelord, so I'm sure it was nothing but shock value. You could do a really interesting story with that premise. It's a very interesting take on the zombie virus.
I'm guessing they mainly just do rape monsters.
Yeah, it's basically just an excuse to show like gore porn.
Yeah.
Like are you grad on Discord?
I'm sorry, you said what?
I'm asking the other caller. You're grad on Discord, right?
What? Oh, what? Yeah.
So I'm going to send you a cover for one of them, and you'll get to decide.
It already looks like. I've seen the covers on Bechtloff screen. It already looks very.
Yeah, these are the
this
tamest
is
ones.
nothing.
This is the tamest ones I could find.
Oh, yeah, that's
Oh, wow.
nothing.
Really?
No, it goes all fucking out, man.
Okay, so for whatever reason it's not sending, so I'll just send you it into retard sex.
Yeah, it's
Why is that in the retard sex section?
because there's a lot of sexual shit in that comic.
Oh.
Yeah, like I said, the tamest things I could find.
Is that thing thing eating a baby's genitals?
Probably. I'm not looking at it right now, but probably, yeah.
Yeah, that's not very clean.
Yep. Like I said, it just, again, interesting premise. It's just, I can see how it just quickly becomes nothing but gore porn.
Yeah, like images like the one on the left, that will probably happen when the break immediately happens. But eventually it would all stabilize and would have something more resembling. But all the other covers look like this. Like every other moment is like the moment the accident happened.
Well, what's interesting from what I understand is that it does affect people to varying degrees. Like there are some the crossed zombies, for lack of a better term, sort of have an almost tribe about them. They don't generally attack each other as much. They sort of form these dark, twisted mirrors of family and tribal connections. And they could turn on each other at any moment. But basically, imagine like the family from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. You know what I mean? They sort of form family relationships like that. Like not all of them are just constantly like lashing out in mindless violence. In fact, a lot of them are very meticulous and thoughtful in what they do.
In fact, if I remember correctly, there's actually one character who's actually trying to have like actual children where they're born. Like he's under the impression that they're of a superior race, and he's actually trying to find the perfect mate. And there's this one scene where these two women who he's been having a relationship with, they look at their babies like, I'm tired of this. I'm going home. I'm getting out of here.
Like I said, it's a very interesting premise. There's a lot you could do with it. It's just like I think if I was to write a story set in that universe, I'd focus on like a band of survivors that are somewhere relatively safe from the infected, and not show the infected that much. You want to show a little bit of it. You want to show what horrible danger it is. But then you just sort of, I think I just focus a lot on the internal monologue within people because, you look in yourself and you think you know some of what you're capable of. I mean, you probably aren't even aware of just how much fucking evil is in you. You're probably looking at the tip of the iceberg, but you thinking, you look internally and think of all the fucked up shit that's come to your mind before. And you just think, oh man, if I get infected, think of the fucking horrible things I do. And then you look around at the other survivors, loved ones perhaps, and just, think of what they would do and that kind of thing. I would just sort of focus on the constant fear of it. Rather than just, like, oh, look, a cross zombie shoved a knife up someone's twat or something. Like, yeah, that's that's shocking and gross and horrifying, but then that all just quickly numb. You just quickly get numb to that kind of shit.
not really anything interesting going on there. It's just gore.
Like I said, it's an interesting premise. You could do a lot with it, but from everything I've seen, it looks like everybody's taking the easy road in writing for it.
A lot of these covers just look like shit you'd see on a Cannibal Corpse record, and I don't really find that very shocking anymore.
So how does the virus even spread?
I believe it spreads bodily fluids and bites and typical zombie virus ways.
So if one character bleeds on another character, or...
Well, there's one scene I've seen where like some chick gets splashed in the face with like a bucket of infected blood and she becomes infected. But I think that's just sort of implied, like it gets in her eyes and stuff like that. I mean, I don't think like, touching the blood is something. I think it has to be, a
like get into the bloodstream.
Yeah, it has to be some manner of it has to get into you somehow. It's not airborne or just touching them does it or something. There was one video I wanted to see if I could find again.
Oh yeah, that Faith movie. Is it bad that I want this to happen?
Well, here's the thing. Supposedly there's a screenwriter and all, but I'm just the kind of guy where it's like I've seen enough of this where until I see a teaser trailer or I see like pictures that they're starting to film or something like that, I don't believe it's necessarily going to happen. Like I've observed, I think Rob Liefeld has managed to sell the rights to Youngblood and shit like that, like half a dozen fucking times over the years. Like literally, studios will buy up the rights to fucking Youngblood, and because they're gonna make a movie, and then they just sit on it for years because I guess it bounces from screenwriter to screenwriter, realizing there's nothing to fucking work with there, and then eventually the rights just expire and it goes to another studio.
Yeah, I just want to see the train wreck. I don't know. I remember peeking into one of those, because I remember peeking into a couple of those fake comics because it was around the time of the election, and they dedicated an entire comic to how we should vote for Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, I think Faith did that.
Yeah, and they kept playing Hillary off as if she's like the most amazing person ever. That's something else. Oh yeah, Muslim Marvel had the same thing.
I wonder how much what we're hearing is true. Like you keep hearing like, oh, they're gonna add all these like gay characters into the Marvel MCU, and there's gonna be I don't know.
They could only force in so much and still get past the Chinese censors.
Yeah, I think China is gonna really save us there, and I don't know. I just it's like Disney spent all this money to buy Marvel, and they're really gonna destroy the one thing about Marvel that's actually making money right now. I don't know. I mean, I'm starting to wonder if maybe Disney might have learned a little bit of lesson in what they did with Star Wars.
I was just discussing the same thing earlier with the Disney Princess movies, because you know how there was a slight push to make Elsa into a gay character.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think that that's going to happen like that, but we'll see. I mean, part of that could just be wishful thinking on my part. Maybe I just don't want to see it happen, and I don't. I don't want to see the Marvel Cinematic Universe get shit up.
Yeah, I think I saw an article floating around at one point saying that they do plan on adding an LGBT princess at some point soon.
We need a bug chasing.
That's 4 different things. Which one is it? Is the homosexual, bisexual, transsexual?
It's all of them. It's all of them. They identify as them all, Luke.
There's at least 76 different things they could go with.
They're transcendent. That's what they are.
Watch it
They are all the deviancy at once.
Watch it be a demigirl. Just a girl that requires emotional connection.
Just like this like asexual looking, barely humanoid creature of pure darkness, and it's like, I am become Paz, destroyer of worlds.
Wait, asexual? You mean Moana?
I am become Paz, destroyer of worlds.
Watch it be a trans princess.
Oh, the wonderful conversations parents are going to have with their kids. I mean, there are these scenes in Disney movies that are always like, the kids are going to go, "What's that all about?" Like those dark scenes or mord scenes. But this is going to make kids so confused. I mean, there was a whole like kerfuffle about like when there was like that they shared that book called My Name Is Jay or something, and it was like a book introduced at elementary class, and some of the kids got freaked out and said, "Am I going to become the girls are saying, am I going to become a boy someday?"
Yes, it's mandatory. All right, I think we're going to wrap this up, but you know what? I'm going to leave it up to the chat. Should we watch a wood rocket scene to wrap up the show? Press 1 if you want to watch some. If you want to open the Hellraiser box. Press 2. I don't know if you don't.
I'm scared.
I'll give it a minute here because I know there's a delay in the chat.
We've got one.
We got some ones here.
3.
A pregnant
There's
princess.
that one hero. That one hero said 2.
Oh, I like this idea for the next Disney character: a pregnant prince.
Ew.
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
They need to have a birthing scene.
The princess has a retractable cock.
All right, let's. Luke, I threw a video in the chat. Let's roll that beautiful bean footage.
Let's see what we got here. Let me see. What is this? What is this?
Really weird porn scenes. All right, Wood Rocket, don't let us down.
I've been in
Like shoving cherries up your vagina.
Weird as in like I had sex with one of my step family, or weird as in like I had sex with somebody in full body paint that was like a cartoon character.
Are we talking?
I'm glad to see we're trying to define our terms first.
Talking about murder porn or like regular porn?
I mean, fetish stuff is always definitely a little bit strange.
Oh, okay. I know a good one. The one where I put sticks of butter up Jinx Maze's asshole.
I don't know why that's so funny. Sticks of butter up someone. How do you get a stick of butter up someone's ass?
You freeze it, cool it a bit.
That's got to be like right out of the refrigerator.
She said that as if this is perfectly normal for her.
And sticks, plural.
I'm going to make your asshole very buttery, and then I'm going to lick it.
How many doctor's visits do these people go through within a week?
Good Lord. Can you imagine, like, that person's asshole is just going to feel greasy for, like, weeks? Imagine how disgusting that's going to feel all the time for, like, a week. All right, let's keep going. That's hilarious.
We should put that on the soundboard.
Man, I've lost track. There's so many things to add to the soundboard.
Would you guys use that? I don't know.
When I put sticks of butter up, it's asshole. Well, I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. When the time comes, Luke will know that this is the appropriate clip.
Beard and stuff, and some of them got stuck, but we got them out.
Getting golf balls stuck in your ass isn't weird. It's just a Tuesday afternoon.
Probably when I.
There it is. That's it. It's just a Tuesday afternoon.
Dude, it's like that M. Bison line in the Street Fighter movie. For you, the day you got golf balls stuck up your asshole was the most shameful day of your life. For me, it was Tuesday.
Oh, this is good. Oh.
Do primal fetishes, like hypnosis stuff. I gotta have like my eyes crossed like this and shit.
Oh, I've done like farting clips before. I took the little fish.
Is that a man? Is that actually a dude? What is that thing's name?
I gotta have like my eyes crossed like this and shit.
Oh, I've done like farting.
She appeared at the very beginning.
I didn't get her name.
Whatever. Doesn't matter. I'm just glad to see Quicksilver's getting work after Avengers 2. Did I use that joke already? Because that chick looks like the dude that played Quicksilver. I can't emphasize that enough.
Farting clips before. I took the little fish tank pump thing with the little tubes and like put it in my butthole and like pumped air up. So put all this air in my, like I could feel it all here and push farts out. So that was kind of weird, right?
Probably the Jap.
Yes,
Here
very
we have-
weird.
Yeah, that was
Here
kind of
we-
weird.
And we have Shrek here again.
That
Japanese porn, the Japanese companies' porns that I've shot. They have some interesting fetishes, like sleeping.
I did horror of the
Sleeping?
She sounds like Jennifer Tilly, this chick.
What is sleeping? Like in pornography? What?
It's
They
just
just get off to
just
watching
footage of
people
somebody
snore.
sleep, I guess.
Oh, like pretty girl sleeping.
Well, I don't know if she qualifies for that, but yes, that's the general idea.
Rings, part 2. And I blew a tree.
I've been an alien space captain. I've been a naughty big titty kitty.
I've been a dead body that's been
Ew.
in the morgue. I got fucked by the that was supposed to.
So necrophilia. That's great.
Dead girls can't say no.
It's true.
But is it consent?
My funeral. I had to like bounce on balloons, and apparently that's a fetish that I didn't know. But guys like to see girls bounce up and down on balloons.
Actually, it was recently. It was femdom work that I was doing in New York, and it was ball busting. There was a slave who he actually enjoys it, and he does this like all the time. But I have never seen anyone in my life get kicked in the balls over 50 times with.
Damn. Damn.
What's
Like
down? What's down?
I saw a joke video. I saw a joke video involving that. At first it played a part of Bon Jovi's "We're Halfway There," and when he goes, oh, it would show a clip of a guy getting kicked in the balls by a femdom.
50 times.
That job better pay a lot.
How do you have any balls left? Like, I can't imagine getting hit in the balls once and not wanting to throw up.
He must have been in he must have been in the cuckold pick category.
I think I'd rather be cuckolded than kicked in the balls 50 fucking times.
Well, you can't get kicked in the balls if you don't have any balls.
Oh, jeez.
He got them replaced with those of a pit bull.
You know what I imagine? Like, remember the gym teacher in Beavis and Butthead? Like the big, like, drill sergeant looking gym teacher that was in Beavis and Butthead? Like, and he used to like say to Beavis and Butthead, like, punch me in the stomach. You think I can't take it?
What the hell are you doing?
Yeah, that guy, the coach in Beavis and Butthead.
I do the ass kicking around here.
Like I think there was a scene where like, yeah, there it is.
You just made a fatal mistake, Mr. Candy Ass. I hope you know something about hand-to-hand combat.
Oh yeah, I swear there was a scene in like a Beavis and Butthead where like he was trying to prove how tough he is, and he's like, "Punch me in the nads." All right, let's keep going. 50 times.
I mean, directly just in the nuts, in the nuts, in the nuts.
Okay, ball vesting. Okay, and people always cringe when they hear it because it's like kicking a guy in the nuts over and over, or stomping on them, or something along those lines. And the thing is people go, "What? Why would you do that?" Da, 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 da. And I was like, trust me, the guy I did it to has a fetish, so he friggin' loved it. So how can I feel bad when you know that you're making somebody happy?
I don't know. I think it's a tie between being Rocket Raccoon and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Bukkake.
I shot this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles porn parody.
They're turtles. So that was weird.
I never actually thought I would see like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with giant green cocks, you know.
And of course, Wood Rocket has to do a bit of shameless self-promotion.
Wait, this ball kicking thing, that's a regular thing?
I guess.
No.
Welcome to the current year, Goy. Kick me in the jimmy. That's what it was.
Man, boy, I'll show you a man. Kick me in the jimmy.
That's what it was.
Yes.
I remember that. He's just like, whoa. Oh, that every time I hear like somebody talk like I hear these porn stars saying like ball busting, and I just think of the coach like, kick me in the nuts. You think I can't take it?
And the Jimmy specifically.
They Wood Rocket should make that their next porn parody.
Me fucking my stepbrother. I loved like the daddy daughter,
We have a ghost here.
like the incest, not really incest step scenes or whatever.
I do a lot of like step
We
mom
just saw ghost guys.
or like stepsister porn. To me, the concept of that, I guess, is a little bit weird. I think all the
A little bit.
Well, it's her stepmom. They're not really related, you bigot. It's the current year, Goy.
And we just saw Ghost a few scenes back.
I can learn. I'm sure I can learn everything in this age of enlightenment.
August Ames, she's getting blacked by Harambe in heaven now.
Stepdaughter, step sibling stuff is really weird. I've done a few of those, and I think it's really weird, but it's fun weird.
I've done some incest scenes, and the weird thing about it was
Stepdaddy or stepdaughter interracial cuckold or something. I was supposed to have
Stepdaughter interracial cuckolding or something. Like at this point, that should just be a porn title. Like they just don't care anymore. Stepdaughter interracial cuckolding or something. Fuck you, you soy boy. You'll buy it.
LGBT LMNOPQRSTUV.
Imagine.
Oh man, I mean,
Imagine.
Dan Harmon would be way too. He'd have an orgasm that can be heard from space.
Imagine being that pathetic that she get cucked by her father.
Oh yeah, Dan Harmon's into incest porn too.
You're
Wait,
cucked,
so
cucked by your own stepdaughter. How does it even work?
Wait, so is she cucking her stepfather, or did father? Or how'd that work?
You know as much as I do at this point. I'm half tempted to watch it just to understand what the fucking plot of that is, because she's lost me.
So would that mean that the stepfather and the stepdaughter have a relationship and they bring a bull into the mix? Is that it?
I don't know.
I guess that's how it sounds to me.
Or is it like a daddy, a baby girl type of thing?
Let's keep going.
Man, and my stepdad was watching. No one really knows why.
The daddy-daughter porn seems like good.
So she's getting fucked by a Hindu while her stepdad is watching.
And nobody knows why. Indeed.
The dad's probably like, oh yeah, I can't do this, so I'll just watch you do it.
Okay.
Because I have such a close relationship with the father figures in my life that it was weird to do a scene like that and put myself in a position where I'd be going.
I really don't think you do. No, she said father figures and not her father.
Well, if it's a stepdaughter, it's not really your daughter. So,
It's not really incest. Just not something you should be doing.
It's focest.
All right, let's keep going.
That has never crossed my mind ever.
But the scenes that creep me the fuck out that I've done a few of are the mommy daughter scenes. And when I'm putting a scene and the director's like, yeah, give more mommy talk, or fuck me mommy, or all that stuff, I say it and I do it. But the whole time inside, I'm just cringing. I'm like, no, I don't like it at all.
Bigots.
It's creepier. It's creepier when you're seeing a ghost get fucked.
But people eat that shit up, so I do it.
Role playing is such a safe way to do things that we shouldn't do in real life.
Definitely when I played Patrick in the SpongeBob SquarePants, because I had to wear the whole starfish character the whole time and do the voice.
I did a movie called Poor Little Shyla, and I play a disabled person, and I have leg problems, and so they put me in braces. You can't discriminate against a disabled person, and they got to get laid too.
It was bondage.
Oh,
Does
we
that
got the
sort
word
of,
of action in pornography.
that sort of borders on exploitation, don't you think?
In disabled.
I think we're well past the border of exploitation.
No, they're hugely exploited.
I was tied up and I had bamboo strapped onto my back, and I was tied up in this really weird position. My legs were open and I was getting fucked in the ass all day. It was just really weird because after they got me down from that position, they literally strapped my hair in pigtails around this guy's ass and made me eat his ass.
I've heard of girls.
Jeez. Oh God. When you laugh so hard you cough. Oh, what the fuck, man?
Let's see what Golf Ball Girl has to say.
Other girls' asses and peeing in them, or just crazy hard bondage. I would absolutely love to be a part of that.
People squirting in my gape. So squirting is.
Whoa! Oh God!
You okay, Bechtloff? Oh!
I was taking a drink of water when she said that, which was rookie mistake, I know, but oh God. People squirting in my gape.
That reminds you of something.
That reminds you of something.
Where is it? Dang, I'm trying to find the clip. Like the Incredibles actually has a clip like that that reminds you of that.
The Incredibles has a clip of people squirting into a gape.
No. It's here it is.
He's
Let's see.
Oh God. What?
Oh! Good evening, everyone. Oh!
NC Clark's in the chat. NC, do you want to join us? Okay. Like I have to like my shirt is literally all wet. Like I did a fucking spit take.
Oh yeah, it's your spit take that reminded me of that.
Oh jeez. Okay, well, let's hear.
At least we know Luke wasn't shifting through his Shadman folder.
Is female ejaculation, and gape is when your butthole stays open, like your muscle.
This one's good. This one I like.
So I was gaping, and then somebody squirted into it.
The sex location, it will be on a forklift. It was very difficult to balance myself on a forklift. And, you know, it's not the most comfortable place to have sex, but hey, it looked great.
They use like this speculum, and it was kind of like weird. They like, you know, like spread your pussy apart. So that was kind of weird. It was weird, like, I don't know who likes that.
But this particular scene was a food fight, and we had pies, we had honey, weird enough, we had raw eggs, and we had like whipped cream, we had bananas, we had strawberries, we had like all these things, right? And we fucking got covered. We like started throwing pies at each other. We were naked all of a sudden, and it's just like, dude, all of us. Jelly. Started getting nasty. Honey up the butt is not good feeling either. I'll just tell you that right now.
I will guess that he was not involved in that.
Where I was tied up in a gigantic frying pan, basted in oil like a chicken. And then it was a girl scene, and the other girl was like going to eat me, but not like eat me, but actually like, yeah, it's okay. I'm still here. It all turned out all right, but yeah, that was really weird.
I don't think it's okay.
Like veggie.
So that was basically that Bon Appetit Katy Perry video taken to its logical extreme.
I was gonna say, did TJ direct that video?
It's tough.
I think Adventure Time might be the weirdest thing that I've done. Just having to think cartoon the whole time, and then being aware of like where all this body paint is, could potentially be.
So my first gangbang was called like 5150. You guys don't know what 5150 is. It's when you are harm to yourself or to others. So my whole scenario was that I tried to commit suicide. In the cycle, I fall asleep and imagine being gangbanged by the orderlies and like one of the other patients. And at some point in the dream, I'm coming down the hallway of the hospital. They throw a bunch of like back at me and just start, you know, going like, "Welcome to your pity party," and then they like gangbang me. That was pretty fucked up.
Willy Wonka parody where I got to play Veruca Salt, and I got gangbanged by 6 Oompa Loompas.
I'm the nurse, and he's a patient in bed laying down, and I'm here to give him a sponge bath, and, you know, I'm washing his junk regularly, and he's like, "Yo, why don't you, you know?" And I'm like, "Excuse me, sir, it's very unprofessional. If you keep it up, I'll bring a male nurse to come in and finish the job." Hypnosis. And then it's just me bathing him, giving him a hand job, and then the next day fucking weird.
I sat in this little pool. The person wanted me to be completely messy. So I had pudding, goo, and I had whipped cream. And then I had to put these boots on. And then I had to take all of the stuff that I had and fill the boots and literally cover myself.
I've done one where I've been wrapped in saran wrap, just good old kitchen saran wrap, and it's been cut off with a knife.
I did wet and messy pies of shaving cream, all like this. So I'm a big marshmallow puff of shaving cream. Sometimes it's like marshmallow fluff or anything along those lines. And then it was a custom. So I had a cigarette, which I don't smoke, so it was like a closed cigarette. So I had a cigarette coming out of this marshmallow puff, and I was looking at the camera, and I said, "Yes, doctor, this is going to help with smoking." That would probably be the weirdest one.
I shot a video.
That is quite elaborate setup.
You know, I sometimes wonder if there are people that order these custom clips just to fuck with them, just to see, like, what will you do? Like,
I'm going to fuck a marshmallow puff.
It's like, I want you to, I don't know, draw a swastika on your stomach with ketchup, and start reading Mein Kampf while naked. That's what I want you to do, sweetie, and just see if they do it. See, they'll do it too. That's the thing; they'll do anything. They don't care, as long as that money's made.
I want to see them act out that one drawing of the Jewish girl on the couch that's surrounded by the Nazis.
Where I had to cover myself with a bottle of shaving cream, and then I had to masturbate myself to an orgasm, and then I took it another step, and I just pissed all over the floor. Typical day.
Well, yeah, that was just the logical next step. Why not? And then I just pissed all over the floor because, you know. Well, that was delightful. That was delightful. Thank you, Wood Rocket. You've restored my faith in you being funny.
And free lesbian scenes. No.
All right. Folks, that's about all I got for tonight. I want to thank you all for listening. If you enjoy the show, do check out the tip jars down below, the Patreon, PayPal, Amazon wishlist, all that good stuff. And yeah, that's all I got for tonight, folks. Thanks for listening.
Discord.
Yes, indeed. Bechtloff out.